So welcome everyone to the call. We are growing very rapidly and all around Australia, New Zealand, and Europe, although I didn't do as big a pull for Europe, so I don't know who is on the call. So actually that's how we can start this. If you would like, go into the little chat there and tell us where it is you are, coming in from. That would be amazing. I'd love to see whether the Europeans got the memo on this one. It is during the week though over there, so it's the middle of the day. So we'll see what happens there. So welcome everyone. My name's Rebecca White. We've got a lot of leaders on the call here. We've got Justine, we've got Deborah, and we have obviously Joe. Joe is going to be sharing his unique story around this product, the story around the timing. I found this really fascinating because once you hear it all, you'll understand why this has been kept a secret for so long and where it's going. There's a few, look, I was writing down the pros today of this company and this business, and the list was actually extremely large. But the couple of things that really sunk in for me was that this is a blue ocean opportunity. And someone asked me, I think it was Brenda asked me a few days ago, what does that mean? It means that nobody else on the planet has got this or is able to have this. So for me, understanding that, because I've been doing a marketing course with Justine, understanding the blue ocean opportunities is actually a really big deal. So that was one thing that got me really excited. It is also extremely unique to be able to get a topical peptide that you just, you don't have to worry about what it tastes like. You don't have to worry about if people are going to be allergic to it, all of those things. That's what was really exciting to me. It's also because I am a business person, of course, very good timing to pre-launch not just Australia, but the world. Okay, we're talking about Australia, New Zealand, USA, and Canada have got it over there, but it's still in pre-launch. UK, Europe, all pre-launch. So those are the things, excuse me, that got me very excited. But I'm going to pass it on to Joe to share his story about what's different about this business, this product, and why he got excited. And then we're going to open it up. Really casual, guys. Just ask your questions in the chat. And at the end, we'll open it up for everybody to be able to ask whatever it is that they want. And if that's a good start. Joe, by the way, is very great in this industry. He's had a seven-figure business already in the industry. He's obviously very fit, understands health and wellness, been around for a long time, incredible leader. And he is the one heading up the launch in Australia, but actually the globe as well. So I'm really excited. And it's been a great lessons and great journey in this last couple of weeks. It's only been a couple of weeks to build with Joe and Justine and Deborah and everyone that's coming on now. So thank you so much, Joe, and take it away.
Okay, cool. Well, yes, like you said, very, very casual. We have some very cool PowerPoint presentations and incredible diagrams about all the health benefits. And I am a nutritional therapist, so I am a complete nerd when it comes to this stuff, and super excited about getting into that. But tonight, I'm just gonna kind of take you through my journey of how I learned about it, because I think it's going to be very similar to what you guys did. Because Rebecca is very right about that. It is blue ocean marketing, which is totally exciting. There is nothing else like it. We're not talking about a protein shake. We're not talking about an energy drink. We're not talking about glutathione or probiotics or things that you can find on the shelf anywhere else. And so, you'll always hear this thing is unique and novel. But this journey that I've been on, and the one that you're going to start tonight in learning about it, get ready to take a deep dive, and it's a very cool story. I've got about 15 years in this industry, so not super long. I did have some success, and the success I had was because very early on, the first company that I got involved in, they came to Australia. I'm from Canada originally. If you'll tell that I don't have an Australian accent, but I moved here to Australia. I got involved in the business, and it was a company coming over from America to Australia, and it was a whole bunch of big American leaders that came over, and they signed up everybody in Australia, and really that didn't leave anything for the Australians. And then the next company that I got introduced to wasn't open in Australia yet, and then so at that time I was like, man, we're gonna bring this thing here first. And because we did that, we saw the value of getting it in before anybody else knew about it in a particular region, and then blanketing the whole market with distribution. And then we mimicked that all over Europe, the UK, and in that we had an incredible success. Right now, that company did very well at the start, but then they didn't get their proper licensing. and it was a very exotic ingredient. So they had trouble getting into different countries. They had to, so all became very difficult. And so it didn't have the longevity that I was looking for. And so I've been in basically retirement. And luckily we did it well enough that, my wife and I and our 10-year-old now daughter have been traveling around the world. It's been fantastic. It's been a dream. But we've always been looking for that thing to be able to do it right. And so May of last year, somebody said to me, somebody that's shared every opportunity that ever comes across their deck, um, and but this one they said, what do you know about carnosine? And very rarely do you ever go, I don't know anything about carnosine. What are you talking about? And I said, "What do you mean, carnitine or carnitine?" And they're like, "No, carnosine." I was like, "Creatine? No, carnosine." So I was like, I don't know. What are you talking about?" And then they shared a couple other things with me, and I was like, "Okay, well that's kind of cool." And so then I Googled it, right? And this is where I'll just do a couple of little screen shares with you because I'll definitely kind of say to you guys after this, do the same thing that I did. Um, but yeah, I looked up on like you do, I looked up on PubMed, which is the National Library of Medicine. If you're a nerd, you look up and do this. And I typed in carnosine. There it is there. And when I did it, this was back in May, and there was just over 3,000 studies. Now there's 3,500. When Rebecca and Justine and I started doing these webinars, there was 3,480. And this was a couple of weeks ago. You see over here, this has been studied since 1918. So, I could go around and say, hey, put a one in the chat thread if you've ever heard of carnosine, but most people have never heard of carnosine before, but it's been studied for over 100 years. And as you can see, in the last few years, it's just snowballing. So then I figured out, something's going on with this. So if you go in and you start Googling, I did this today. This was something somebody on one of our webinars said, what about glial cells? I was like, I don't know what the heck glial cells are. So I left this up here because I went and I searched glial cells, which again, I've never even heard of. And all of a sudden it protects glial cells from oxidative stress and inflammation, right? So this carnosine, basically, if you go in there, it has been looked at. You can go in and search cognitive decline, diabetes, neuropathy, nerve damage, stroke treatment, just about anything, ocular muscle strength, glaucoma, cataracts, just absolutely anything. And carnosine, you Google it, you find that people are studying it. Right. So then I thought, well, how have I never, ever heard of this before? And what you come to find out is that there's only a couple of ways. Go and search carnosine supplements. There's carnosine supplements, right? But carnosine supplements, when you take them, this is a dipeptide that's made up of two peptides. And those peptides, it breaks it down as soon as we take it. So for some reason, this particular thing, when we take it, our blood breaks it down, our stomach breaks it down. So we can really only get about 3 to 5% of any oral supplement that we take. The only other way to get it into our body is that we take something called beta alanine. And beta alanine is something that you got to load for 4 to 12 weeks. And even then, you can't raise these carnosine levels, right? But so no way to get it, no other place has got it, and that's why we haven't heard about it, because there's been no money in it. So turns out though that we all had tons of carnosine in our bodies, and that carnosine, until we were about 10 years old, our bodies were producing tons of it. We all had tons of energy. You never got sore. You could run all day, play all day. Nobody ever talked about being sore after a workout when you were 10 years old, and that's because we had tons of carnosine in our bodies. After puberty, starts to go down. After our 20s, falls off a cliff. So over the past 100 years, scientists have known this is an incredibly powerful molecule, but outside of a lab, they've never really been able to find an effective way to get it into our body. So the guy that I got on the phone with in May told me a story about 19 years ago. He was an entrepreneur, and he picked up products. He'd find them, he'd white label them, interesting ones, and then he'd sell them all over the world. right? And he saw a product that said that came out of Italy. He was on a list of products that were kind of up for sale to get their marketing rights. And it was a cure for restless leg syndrome, right? If anybody's ever had restless leg syndrome, that's, pretty exciting to if there was a cure for it, but pretty boring, compared to some of the other things that were on there. But in the subtext, it said buffers lactic acid. And this guy was an ex-hockey player, and he thought nothing buffers lactic acid. That's what I thought when I heard that it buffers lactic acid. I've never heard of anything that can do that. So he picks him up to try it. He put it on his legs, and he had a phenomenal result. Then he put it on some of his friends' legs, and those friends happened to be National Hockey League players, right? Which, if you're depending on where you are in the world, not a big deal, but in the United States and Canada, as a Canadian boy, that is a huge deal that these players were utilizing it. So they went and they were going to go get the marketing rights for this product. They felt like, oh my God, we've got the next Gatorade. We've got this thing that buffers lactic acid. This is going to change everything in sports, right? And it turned out it was a Italian pharmaceutical company that wasn't interested in the intellectual property, so they sold it to them. So these guys, this is another reason why you haven't heard of it. These guys thought, oh my God, we just got the golden goose here. And their lawyers very smartly told them, look, you can go to the market with this right now. You can trademark it. It could be very easy to go to market with this new gel that's going to buffer lactic acid, and it'll be huge, but everybody will steal your formula. So they very wisely went and got some more investors. They put it basically back into the vault for now, into virtual secrecy until they could get their patents in place. The patents is like a 10-year process, right? So while that's been going on that in that 10 years, a couple things happened. A, the hockey players started sharing it around. And so it went from team to team as players went from, traded teams and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, even though nobody's ever heard about this, this is mandated to be in every dressing room of the National Hockey League because they've never found something so effective for not only for performance, but for recovery from this exercise. Now, along the way, this another thing happened. A guy by the name of Chad Macias, who was the chief science officer for not only the Navy SEALs in America, but also for elite athletes like Usain Bolt, right? If you guys know Usain Bolt, obviously one of the most medaled athletes, fastest man on the planet, won a number of gold medals and world records. So this guy finds it and thinks, oh my God, this is so incredible that he asks them if he can help them with the science as long as he can use it on his athletes. And so he does. So they go down the process, and I'll share my screen again and take you through just a few slides. Okay. So the first thing that they do is they prove that this can get into the skin. And with that skin study, they show that it can take a water-based molecule and pull it down through the skin into the muscles and into the blood. There's very few products that have proven that it's done this. There's only a spare few in the last 15 years that have ever gotten through the FDA. And by the way, this product now has FDA approval and Health Canada approval. Once they had done that, they've proved that they can pull this carnosine down into the body. They can forego having to go through the blood and the oral consumption and the stomach. Now they know that it can get it into people. Then they did an animal study. The animal study is what you see here. This was on horses. This is all part of the scientific process. And the study in horses, they were able to do muscle biopsies. And they showed that this was raising carnosine levels by up to 100% in the first application. So now people aren't having to take it for 10 weeks. They're showing that it can raise the carnosine levels in just that first hour, right? Right after this, by the way, part of the cool story of this product, all top five horses in the Kentucky Derby were all using this product in 2021. After that, it was so successful, they actually changed the rules as to what you can put on horses the day of the race. And then in the horse world, this Lactigo product went back into virtual secrecy. Again, it's come out. They've done a couple more studies on this on elite athletes, and the elite athletes that they've done these studies on are a huge football club in Europe called AC Milan, right? Some of you guys probably know it. So not just a little football club or some kind of juvenile league or anything like that. One of the top teams in the world, and they showed incredible performance improvements. Right? They've done another study on probably one of the biggest sports franchises in the world, the New Zealand All Blacks, and it's the highest recorded performance gains in a study that's ever been recorded. Now, some of you may be elite athletes and thinking that that's pretty cool, and it is. However, the big thing was that while they were studying all this, they started to see correlations between not just the fact that you get not getting sore after the workouts, but the reason you don't get sore after the workouts is because of carnosine, the active ingredient in this, decimates something called glutamate. And glutamate is what is in your muscles when you get sore after your workouts. But glutamate is also in the muscles of people that have fibromyalgia. It's also in our brains. And when people have you probably heard of or may have heard of the GABA to glutamate ratio in our brain, and that affects not only sleep, but depression, right up to full blown bipolar disorder. Right. So now they're making these ties between what this product is doing and the biomedical world at the same time that this science behind carnosine is absolutely snowballing. So 5 years ago, they gained their first patent, and now they have 50 worldwide. So what that means for us is that we have this product that nobody on the market can have, right? It'd be like, pick the coolest product that you know out there, and you probably, if it is that cool, you probably see it on the shelves, and there's 15 different brands of it in every supplement store all around the world. If you've been involved in the direct sales network marketing world, you know that most of these things everybody has a version of. These guys, because the science and the patent is so strong, they're the only ones that can deliver carnosine, this groundbreaking technology, into the body. So with that, they are now open, or they're in pre-launch in the United States. There's only a handful of distributors over there, a few thousand. They are doing good sales because they're doing about 500,000 in sales monthly, which is a tiny, tiny amount. But they've already established that there is a strong, strong market for this. Now they can go out anywhere. They're looking for people like us. I found the product and I had some knowledge about getting it into the Australian market. I saw that this is basically considered a cosmetic. It's a topical cosmetic, so it doesn't fall under all of the restrictions that happen when you've got something that's a consumable. So all these shakes and energy drinks, things these are not exotic ingredients. It's all very simple. So that means that not only do they have a product that is blue ocean marketing that's never been done before, it's a category creator, right? A transdermal carnosine gel, never been heard of before for something that the world has never really has yet to discover, and it can go anywhere, be manufactured anywhere, get into or not have to deal with regulatory bodies, and go wherever it wants. So that brings us up to March 2026. Ready to go wherever there's leaders that wanted to bring it into that country. The company, because they're not old school network marketers, they're just very passionate entrepreneurs about their product and their baby, and they put their entire lives into it over the past 20 years, and they want to do it right. So what they've done is they've listened to the field and the people that have had success bringing products internationally. And they've listened to them in the way that they've designed their compensation plan, in the way that they've designed the fact that there's no non-competes or sales clauses, there's no gotchas in their compensation plan. And it's really designed to make it simple for anybody, no matter what size they want to build their business, no matter how much time they have to do it, to be able to do this on the side of what they're doing now and have it not be a I got to do this or my other company. I got to do this instead of my other company or whatever job that I'm working at right now. It's this and because it's never been done before and it doesn't compete with anybody. And this is part of the package of why we're getting so excited about it now. And I'll stop blathering on, Rebecca. And I don't know if there was questions, but
Yeah. I just went to write that and realized it said no, something else, but that's okay. So no non-competes was a really big thing for me as well. Because again, I think in this day and age now with affiliate marketing, you need to be able to, if you're like me, I use something, I like something, I share it. I'm one of those people. I'm a TMI girl. Too much information. I share probably way too much. But that's what I liked about it. There was a couple other things I wanted to make sure people understood. No non-competes. It already has an equine range. It's got a canine range coming out. What got me excited was not only with this product that we're speaking about, which is an amazing product. It's got this version, it's got a menthol version, but what's coming in the future, we get to help shape this. Okay. As the people, the pioneers, we get to help shape how this is distributed. We get to help shape everything about, bringing out this new product. It's getting all new marketing. There's a lot of things in the pipeline, guys. And so I'm super excited about this timing right now because I have been here before. So when the science, the timing, and the results line up, that's when I pay attention. To join this company as an affiliate, it costs $0. Okay, that's another thing I really liked. I actually really enjoy the fact that people don't have to worry about that. They're only paying for product. People can use this, and usually after they've loaded on it, so you want to load up on this product because again, carnosine is not in your body. After you've loaded up for a couple of weeks, maybe you'll go through a couple of tubes the first month. But after you've loaded up, one tube a month is enough. So that's $50 USD for something so powerful and helps with so many things. It's just got so many green ticks against this. I am so super excited. Brenda's awake super early in the States to check it all out. Thanks, Brenda. Ask any other questions we may have forgotten. But from a business standpoint, I believe anybody that is anything like myself and understanding timing will be extremely excited and jump on as quick as possible, like what I have done and shared with all of you guys. This is the time when we open it up. So please, if you have any questions or anything else, um, unmute yourself. This is very casual. Ask Joe anything. Some people are coming in. Betty's coming in a bit late, but that's okay. And this is a time to ask. Get yourself excited. Any other
so
questions coming to mind?
somebody asked how much do you have to do to remain active? So here's more of the cool things. All of the things, it's almost like think of all the things that bugged you about any other company that you've ever been in, and we got rid of it because it was just a blank slate. They came to us and said, okay, so what should we do? We're like, oh, this is what you got to do. No, there's no, I have to have a subscription on or I don't get paid. It's $100 in volume. And that can come from you, your customers, whoever, a combination of the two of them. So very, very low. All right. There's no gotchas in the compensation plan. It's basically four different segments. It's an affiliate, a great, very strong payout for new customer acquisition, right? 25% on all new customer acquisition. If you've got people that just like to do social selling, they give a 10% coupon to their followers, to the people they have influence over, and they get a 25% commission. And then they get it up to a 25% commission for life for those customers' orders, right? There's the distribution channels or legs. You don't have to have certain people that are at certain ranks for you to have to move forward. When you explain it to people, most people don't know all the crazy network marketing terms. You don't have to be a mathematician to understand it. It's all based on the dollar. If you sell something for $100, whatever percentage the comp plan says, you get that percentage of $100. So it's all very simple. You'll be able to explain it in 10 minutes and have a one pager that shows you everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Any
And
questions? Bernadette, have you got a question?
I have about the horse range because
Yes.
I didn't see it when I went into the shop. So is that because I know somebody who's an Olympic horse trainer, so I'm very excited about
Mm.
having that contact. but I don't want to go off going la 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 without knowing more
Yeah,
about horse products.
absolutely. So I think you can explain this better than me, Joe, actually, because I'm I'm still learning it all.
They people were just like you, Bernadette, and like I know horse people, and some people were the horse people because the product was maybe going to be sold to somebody else and white labeled as a different product, and all of the promoters said no 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 no, you're holding on to that. And because of the whole animal division, right? Because even besides the horse product, the canine product, you can imagine if there's some dog owners on here, how you can't wait right now to get this stuff onto your dogs, right? And so for the horses, the same. So they just recently said, okay, we are keeping it and we're going to make it available to all our distributors. And they have so little stock that they had to say, okay, we're going to put up some hoops. So right now, that's why it's not on the open website. A horse owner or like a vet or a vet tech or anything like that can go in and buy and apply to be a to get the product, and then you
Okay.
can see it.
All
Yeah.
right. Great.
Yeah, but so very soon it's coming out of the warehouse now, the new product, and then it will be right on the website, and everybody will be able to get it. I was on with the global sales manager for the animal division though this morning, and she is phenomenal, and the product sounds amazing, and she was telling us about her history with show jumpers and all and English style riders as well as race horses and stuff like that. And it's another great story that the company's had. And I said, so how effective is it for horses? And she's obviously a horse owner slash lover herself. And she said there once people understand what this is, there's no horse owner that will not put this on their horse. She said it's so effective for them. So
So is there then? So the proof is in the pudding, I said. But ideally, you a horse owner would like to speak to a horse owner
hmm.
because they're very precious about their, especially if they're race horses or jumping horses. Is there going to be information available that the links that
Oh,
person can
for sure.
talk
There's
to
already a
someone?
great website. So the equinevelocity.com, I'm sure somebody can type that into the chat thread, is there. And that has I saw a few testimonials and from I think it's like the gold medal show jumper in the last Olympics or something like that is the person that's right on the front. And then just like anything else, there'll be testimonial. There's a few videos out there with testimonials. And now that we're getting it back into the market, that's just going to snowball. So it'll be up
Okay,
to us to put all that together, though, from the testimonials and sharing
great.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great
But when
question.
you said the proof is in the pudding, the proof is in the science. Like that
Yeah.
study on the horses is unbelievable, right? Because
Mm,
we actually have a human biopsy study as well that will be coming out where they actually went in with athletes and biopsied their muscles and proved that the carnosine goes up in humans. But
mm,
they did that first in the horses. And so they and I've talked to people that know the horse study, and they did like multiple biopsies at different places and blood tests, and it was all great results. And there's no placebo with horses, right?
mm.
So yeah,
Okay,
good strong
great.
science.
Awesome. Okay.
Marvelous.
There was a question from Moana. We have done one Zoom explaining the comp plan, and I'll give you that recording of that one. And the comp plan is very new this month. So we can have more of those calls as well to help people to really comprehend it. I was just speaking to Justine and Deborah about having more team. I know that tomorrow there's actually a team call that Joe does, and they have different discussions on them team calls as well. So there's a lot of content, but the horse one, that might be good for one of the science calls one day as well to get somebody that's an expert in there.
Oh yes, we're already working that out. Don't
I
you worry. Yeah. So somebody asked where the studies are. So always the easiest thing to look for. We are, even though it is very new, we are very big on tools. So you will have excellent tools. They're all in kind of development, and they almost happen as you ask for them. So one tool that you have is the carnosinelab.com, and the carnosinelab.com houses all the science. So right on the first page, there's if you scroll down a little bit, it tells basically the story that I just told. So it's a great little funnel for you to get people to. And by the way, when I talk about funnels, it will actually be in a funnel in our highly advanced CRM that you will all have access to, that will have everything in funnels. If you want to talk to or if you meet somebody on the street and they say, I'm a personal trainer, what will this do for me? You do not have to be an expert on this stuff. Same thing with the equine product. If you meet a horse person, you will say, just check out this funnel, and it will take them through everything, and we'll have heaps of testimonials on there. But here is all of those studies that we were talking about today, right on the Carnosine Lab. If you go to the Carnosine Lab for Pros, it'll speak to any type of different discipline of doctor, very specific for each one of them. And yeah, so from a tool standpoint, you'll have everything that you need very, very quickly. This was the thing. I hated what our companies did to us by not launching the country the right way, and that's why I'm super keen to talk to anybody in every nation that knows either how to or the people to talk to open the countries right, because this company is open to it. They would be very happy to just open in the United States and Canada. That's easy for companies, especially when they're going to blow up, right? Because then they don't have to fly anywhere. They don't have to create things in different languages or anything like that. So these guys would be happy to do it. However, if we can go to them and say, no, 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 this is needed in, whichever country, and we know how to do it for you, then you have the influence to get it done with the cultural differences in the languages that we want, everything done right, manufacturing either in country if it makes sense or very close, so that we don't have to do this whole not for resale phase where we say once we hit 250,000 for 4 months in a row, then we'll think about coming there. We can just go there.
Yeah, that's great. Great to know. And we've got lots of people from different countries very interested in launching countries because they know what that means for them on a business standpoint. But again, we do need the right people. Joe's got experience, but it does take a bit of work. Joe's done a lot of work behind the scenes for the last quite a few months for Australia, and that's what it will take for each of these countries. So yeah, make sure that you understand that as well. Um,
Absolutely.
so Jill said you enter the equine. So you've got to actually apply for that, I believe, before that will show.
Yes. So
Um,
you go into your lactigo.com website, become an affiliate, sign up with the sponsor that you're looking to sign up with for free. And then once you've done that, you go to the Join Us section. It's very intuitive on the Lactigo website, and you'll see if you're a sports team, you sign up there. But if you're a horse, you're wanting the horse products, then you can sign up there. It does, look at it, even if you're with a bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, even if you're not a horse owner, if you put a picture of yourself with a horse, then you'll get access to the products. It's my insider tip.
Awesome. Okay, is there any questions we've missed here? I want to make sure they're all answered there. Okay, excellent. So this product is very similar anyway. So if you wanted to use that and trial it on a horse, it probably could. But of course, a horse is a much bigger animal and you don't want to be spending like that much money. So yeah. Well, you might want to be. It depends on who you are, what horses you've got, I suppose. Any other questions on anything else? We will do more business sort of, comp plan and other type calls coming up. But at the same time, we want to make sure that, everyone's got the ability to be able to invite their people on and just have that knowledge about where this is going, because that's what got me excited. Tony just said, where are the best places to apply it overall well-being? So that's today. There was a call on with a chiropractor from Texas, and Brenda wants to do another call for USA on their Monday night again. I'm sure we can. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we apply it everywhere. I'm pretty sure everywhere, 2-3 times a day, he said, for up to 2 or 3 weeks. So depending on how mature the person is, depending on, the age of the person, depends on how much you want to load up. So today the chiropractor said 2 to 3 times all over pretty much your whole body for the first 2 weeks to 3 weeks, potentially, depending on what's going on in the body. But you'll start feeling the difference, and then you'll know you can sort of take it back a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
that's
do
right.
you use now? What do you use now, Joe, after using it for a while? Do you just kind of put it once a day now, or?
No, I mean, look at I abuse my body. I still, either surf or kite surf or go work out, and I'm 52. And I look at I'll tell you, it's very very simple for me. I when I took it, I didn't put it on, and my life didn't change in a day. In fact, I was like, I don't know, because I went in and I worked out, and the first time I still got sore. Right. I couldn't, people aren't going to be able to tell myself anyways. I couldn't tell if I did 10% more curls, right? If, it can increase your performance by 10%. I don't know what that is. But after about a week, I was way more mobile. And I am now a guy, 6 months later, who I'm sure that my skin has gotten much better. People always say it, I've never put anything on my skin. And I just put on the back of my neck because I know or I've heard that it crosses the blood-brain barrier and gets into your brain. So before I go to bed and when I get up, I put on the back of my neck and then I come around and I put on my face. And I was putting on my eyelids because I was told that it also can increase ocular muscle strength. And I definitely my eyesight's going a little bit. And so, but I have pterygiums, which are bumps on your pupils when you stare at the sun too much when you surf or kite surf, and they've gone away. And I've changed nothing else. And that's something that you normally need a surgery to have. So I've never seen any science on that or anything, but there's nothing else that I change except that. And there is strong science on cataracts and glaucoma. So I put it on like that, and I do that in the morning and the night, and I'll put it on after I work out. I don't even put it on before I work out because I'm not really interested in going harder. I just want to feel good. And I just feel mobile. No, now, and this is what you hear from everybody. You just feel good. So yes, you use it more at the beginning because you haven't had carnosine in enough effect, and since you've been 20 years old, right? So you spend every day of your life with a declined amount of carnosine. So you load it up for a bit, and then you taper it back. And that's the other great thing about this product. It's simple, right? What do I do with it? Put it on where you want to feel better. Okay, how often do I do it? Put it on until you feel better. Right? Very, very simple. It gets cool. And one of the things I want to say to you, like, we could get super sciencey. And when you guys get into this, you'll be on, if you've ever been in a product where you've been like, oh man, it's inspiring to be a part of this. And it's so many things that we can help with. Now, if you just go to our YouTube site, which is at Team Lactigo on YouTube, like this is hours and hours with these doctors talking about it. And every one of these is time stamped. When you go into them, you'll find in the description that it timestamps each one of them so you can find out. Everyone. So you can find out exactly what's going on in them. And then if you go to our shorts section, if you like fast, easy information or good marketing, you can listen to Chad Macias. This is Usain Bolt's performance coach. Just let him tell the story about how carnosine helped athletes rewrite the records books, right? Literally, wait till you hear that story. It's all about all the track stars beating the 80s drug era Russian records, right? Super cool. And they changed nothing else except for putting Lactigo on them. And then through anything, there's a great horse story for you. So go into the short section on this or our Facebook site, and you'll just hear doctor real world results, one application for marathon PRs, why you've never heard of this. Does BP 157 work if you're into peptides? And we add more of these every single day because we've got so much content with all these doctors that are excited about it. If you're thinking, man, I've got some influencers or some athletes, or that's something that you've operated in, just go check out our Instagram page. That's Brittany Reese. Literally, I broke my record with Lactigo. She's a gold medal where she broke Jackie Joyner Kersey's 20-year triple jump record online. She basically says because of Lactigo, but then go down. It's ultra marathoners, CrossFitters, bikers, triathletes, influencers. It's everything with this thing. Yeah, it's just got such a massive market and a widespread appeal. And for you guys that want to help us build the distribution channels worldwide, we're going to give you every tool that you've ever wanted in order to do it.
Yeah. So Tony, back of the neck, face, belly button. I've got lower back issues, so I put it there. I put it all over my whole body first thing in the morning. And then in saying that, if you've got bad knees, you might put it on there a bit more than everywhere else, you know.
For sure.
Debbie said, I have a sore shoulder. Should I put it on there? Would I notice a difference between a day or two? Well, probably not. Like, you know, I can't say that. What I can say is that if you keep applying it, you will notice a difference. I did
Yeah.
have a very fit bodybuilder just trial it. What she said, Martine said, Justine, that what, 4 times she used it. So twice one day, twice the next, and she noticed a massive difference within day two. But she's extremely connected to her body and does a lot of work. So she noticed a difference in her workouts very quickly. And then I myself noticed it within about a week and a half when I was loading. And then I had a really stiff neck. I had like a wry neck one day. So I thought this would be a good test. Put it on 3 or 4 times, like extra on that area. The next day I woke up and it wasn't sore. So I was like, that's great, because usually that would be a long time. We cannot give you medical advice. Someone's asked about a specific ailment. All you need to do is put that ailment into Google and say, is carnosine good for this ailment? Check that out for carnosine, not the product Lactigo. Check out carnosine. We can never give medical advice. We're not medical doctors. We know this thing with, you know, we just can't do it. But you can always put it into your Google search or your search engine with the ailment that you've got and carnosine and see what comes up.
And then, and this is the other great thing about it, because you know that this is so safe, it's got 15 years of safety history without an allergic reaction, no contraindications with any medications or health conditions. So you know you can just try it, right? What have you got to lose with this thing? And this is what you'll be able to tell everybody that you've got, that you're inspiring to try it, that they can say, look, you try it risk-free. It's completely guaranteed. They've got one of the strongest guarantees in the industry. You try one of their tubes, and if you don't love it, they give you the money back. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So some people are saying, do you still moisturize? Justine says she still moisturizes over top, and I do as well. I'm pretty lazy though. I only put moisturizer on my face. Now, in saying that, my skin is feeling very soft. So it's really, really interesting.
Well, I went to work last night, and if anyone knows me, I work on the railways, and I just did 3 nights of night shift. And so last night was night three, and I walked in, and the guy, my supervisor, he goes, "Justine, you were absolutely glowing tonight." So I'm like, "Yes, it's working." Yeah, it was awesome. So,
Love
and
it.
yes, I do moisturize. I still do my skincare routine with my toner and moisturizer afterwards, but I always put the Lactigo on first. Yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. Good questions, guys. Does anyone have any other questions? We want to make sure we're not taking up too much of Joe's time. Joe's been very generous. But if there's any more questions, please do so. If you guys request more of these, we will do more of these. This is very casual, though. I'm sure we will have more set in opportunity style calls as we get further and further down the track. But at the moment, we're just being quite casual about it. It's very new. It's really exciting. Just get people to get in front of this information and get this product on their bodies, because it really will change their life. So yeah, apparently there is a skincare range coming out shortly as well. Some people are coming in really late, so I hope I got the time right for everyone. Not the best with timing with all around the world and all the stuff, but there will be a replay of this, guys, so we'll be able to share that. If you have any other questions, get back to the person that invited you. There is so much work to be done, because like what Joe said, there's only a few thousand people in the whole world that are distributors at the moment, and we all know that this type of blue ocean product with what it can do is going to go viral. So I know you said on one of the calls that Joe Rogan has invited someone on about this. So don't make sure you get this out there before it goes on Joe Rogan, because everyone will hear about it if it goes on Joe Rogan show. To get it out there, get as many people as you can knowing about this. This is going to be huge. Absolutely. Who was it that was invited on that, by the way?
That is so Chad Macias. I mean, wait till you meet this guy. I don't even know if you guys have really been on one of his calls yet, but he is the most
Watched him on
marketable
YouTube. Yeah.
chief science officer, yeah, that you've ever met. Just a super nice guy, super smart, right up there with the top scientists in the world, like very respected wise in a lot of different areas with that. Obviously, head perform or human performance coach of the Navy SEALs, and all these 2,500 different athletes or something have come through the doors at the Institute of Human Kinetics that he's the founder of, but also a two-sport Olympic athlete. So just he walks the walk, talks the talk, and just an all-around nice guy, dad, family man, very cool guy. So Chad is because he coaches so many MMA fighters. If you ever listen to Joe Rogan, that's a big world that he's a
Oh
part of.
yeah.
As an open invite to be on the show to come on and talk about this kind of stuff. And they're just really waiting until they get the marketing down with the product, and so they can do it right. So yes, it'll be a
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
time for us when that happens.
Brenda, we've got the recording. I'll share the recording. That was the recording, one of the recordings that I seen that gave me that massive download to go, holy moly, let's do this. He just, some of the stuff he said, it just went click, click, click. So I'll share that recording with you if anyone wants that recording of Chad Macias on that same YouTube channel that you've just shared, Joe, as well. It's on there. And I'm very sorry to the Europeans that I had the time wrong. That does not surprise me that I do that. So please double check my timing all the time. All right. Let's do another call for you guys. Tell me when you're available. The only times I'm not available is the Saturday nights for the next few weeks, but otherwise I'm usually available. Okay. So I'm so sorry, Betty and Tina and everyone over there. We do have to go though, because I know that there's other calls booked. So I really appreciate you all. Love you all. This is going to be an amazing, fun journey, and I'm so excited that you guys have chosen to come along. Let's get this out there to the world. And thank you so much, Joe, and everyone for jumping on. I really appreciate your time, Joe, and all your expertise and everything you do and you're doing for us. I'm sorry to keep you so busy. I think we're only just starting though, so it might get a bit busier yet. Sorry.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
I'm settled into this chair for the next 3 years. No worries.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate it
everyone.
all. We'll
Thanks,
speak
Joe.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Take care.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.